Yeah, because like you got these, right? You know, girls that are like making millions of dollars off of OF and like just 304ing themselves out. So it's like if they can do it, you could find a way too.
Yeah, the girls make millions of dollars. Me personally, though, I blame the men more for the OnlyFans. I think it's kind of how pathetic it is. You have these men on there, you know, talking to other men, because all the big girls, I'm sure you know, they hire men or AI now to pretend like they're them. So it's two dudes flirting with each other, sending each other dick pics and shit. It's like absolutely pathetic and embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I make fun of you know, 304s a lot, but yeah, the problem is the simps, because the simps are the ones that fund the 304 economy. You know, this is the world that we're in now, where it's like girls that have no skills, no talent, etc. They make a bunch of fucking money, man. Like these OF girls, some of them are pulling in, you know, 50, 60, 100K a month off of putting pictures of their butthole on the internet. But who's paying for it? It's fucking simps. It's guys. So you know, they just banned this girl off YouTube, Amaranth or whatever, like literally today, for pornography or whatever, like for sexually explicit things. But she's been able to get away with this for a long time. Why? Because we have a simp epidemic, right? She makes a bunch of money on Twitch, a bunch of money on YouTube, OnlyFans, etc. This girl has no skills, no talents, really. Plays some video games with the titties out or does hot tub streams, but you got to blame the men. The men are the problem.
How pathetic are these guys? If you're that guy, stop being that guy. But I'd also like to add the average OnlyFans girls make, I think it was $150 a month. So it's only a few of the ones that are making money. So a lot of these girls are embarrassing themselves, completely destroying their reps for a few $100s. And they see these few high earners, they think you can be one, and it's not very likely.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it's such a small percentage of women. Like it's something like 98, 99% of the women that make the majority of the money. Sorry, it's like 2 to 3% of girls that make like the majority, like the 90% of the like big money on OnlyFans. So it's like, yeah, like you said, a bunch of girls make like $150 a month, whatever, and then they ruin their lives in the process. Like I don't think women understand that like when you go on OnlyFans or you do any of that stuff, you literally are playing with fire and ruining your life, because a lot of guys are simply not going to take you seriously for that.
You know the problem with it? The reason why they don't realize it for the ruining lives, because first off, they have a ton of simps after them still, and occasionally they have guys that still are high value that'll go sleep with them.
Yeah.
So it makes them think like, oh, this high value guy, I mean, I'm not in the market anymore, but if it was, you know, occasionally you sleep with these dumb thoughts, and they think like, oh, this guy, you know, I could get these type of guys, but we would never date them or take them seriously. It's like, no, you're an OnlyFans girl. Like, give me a break. Of course I would never date you. So they have this confused thing in their head that they can date guys they can't. I think a lot of women get this problem. They act all and they're able to sleep with high value men, but we never take them serious. It's like we look at a lot of other things when we're looking for a girl to actually be our girlfriend, besides just, you know, looks and this stuff. And these girls don't realize that.
It's incredible to me, interviewing well over 3,000 girls now, how many women, literally what you just said, they conflate men talking to them and men being attracted to them, or men even taking them on dates is like, oh, this guy's a real suitor and takes me seriously. It's like, no, dude, he just wants to sleep with you. Like, yeah, he's a multimillionaire, attractive, whatever, but he's got like 5 or 10 other girls just like you.
Exactly.
But these girls really think like, oh, well, this is a caliber of guy that I could go on a date with, so this is a caliber of man that I deserve for a long-term relationship. And they don't understand that the two are not the same at all.
Yeah, men, because usually for a man, like if I can sleep with a girl, you two, I'm assume, sleep with a girl, I can make her my girlfriend.
Yeah.
But it's not the same with girls, and they don't understand that. They confuse the two.
Yeah.
So these guys might be sleeping with them, but when it comes time to be a girlfriend, these girls aren't even in the equation. It's just like, no, you're an OnlyFans girl. You're completely, no chance I would date you.
The lack of self-awareness is gross, but it's because we have an entire society that like reinforces bad female behavior. You know, whether it's them being hoes and being, you know, because, okay, we don't negatively reinforce bad behavior from women. Like we positively reinforce bad behavior.
We give them too much bad behavior. If they're fat, body positivity. But if a man's fat, I'll be like, dude, you're a fat fuck. I want my friends to fucking roast me, and they will, thankfully, because my friends are real. But girls will be like, babe, you look so good in that outfit. It's like, no, you look like a disgusting. But men, we won't. If one of our friends comes out looking fat, we'll be like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, you make fun of them.
Go for, and then they lose weight.
Bullying, yeah.
I've never been fat, but I put in like 5-6 pounds, and my friends will roast me so hard, and then I'll go lose weight. It works, and I want my friends to roast me. I want to have friends that'll do that. Yeah,
like with women, that's just not a thing. Like there's no negative reinforcement for their bad behavior, so it's very difficult for them to get constructive and real criticism. So what ends up happening is like they live in this bubble of delusion, where it's like they'll be, and then they'll say, oh, I'm a 10, I'm perfect, and like we've had it on our show, like we go around the table, what do you rate yourself 1 out of 10? And they literally all rate themselves 10, and I'm just like, holy fuck, man,
it's
this
baffling.
is crazy.
They're all saying 10s and they're like 4s. Imagine if they did it with guys like us. You know, we're probably attractive guys, but no way we'd say 10s.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
Like 7 or something. And these girls are like 10, 10, 10. It's like, what the hell?
It's just female delusion in the West in general, and they'll be too, and you're just like, what the hell? So, this concept again, we blame the Sims for it, but it's just there's so many things in play that like make delusional. But yeah,
the women do it too. Yeah,
we don't shame
both.
them.
No,
Yeah,
they need more shame. And I guess when I told a couple people to do a podcast with you, a couple girls like, oh, he hates women and stuff. But like, I've been around you, and I really don't think you do. I think you're just trying to hold them accountable. What's your take on that? Do you hate women?
Yeah. So here,
I've seen you treat women great. You
yeah,
know,
I hate
the women that
stupidity.
deserve to be treated good.
Yeah, what I hate is stupidity, and it just so happens that a lot. Because they don't experience, like, a lot of them don't experience real adversity, that they don't understand how the world really works or whatever, and they don't, and most importantly, they don't understand what men want. So like when I tell them what it is, and I come to like, hey, this is how it works, and then they try to argue with me or whatever, I'm just like, bro, you're fucking 21-year-old, you haven't accomplished anything, you're stupid. Like, I'm one of the few guys that tells they're stupid.
Yeah.
So they go ahead and tell me, oh, you hate women. No, I hate stupidity. So it just so happens, though, unfortunately, that a lot of young hot girls.
Yeah, because they get away with it. Because
they get away with it.
Because men tune in and tolerate it.
Yeah,
and we shouldn't. So like I said, it's men's fault for tolerating it, but they're also push idiocracy. Women push it too.
Yeah, like with men, right? If you're a moron, like
You get
reality is
going to
let you know that you're a moron.
You're not going to be in any circles. No girls are going to talk to you. No high-level men are going to let you in your circle. It's not easy to get in high-level circles for men.
Hell no.
We have to work our fucking asses off to get where we're at. And we can be cut out really quick too.
Yep.
One fuck up, people will cut you out quick.
Yep.
You know, like I'm sure you roll in, a lot of people too. And it's like our words mean everything. People don't like you lying to you. They like you fucking doing what you say. It's like men will get cut out like that.
Yeah.
These women, they can just fucking, they're hot. They can stay around.
Treachery is the worst thing. You know what I mean? I think that's why with women, right, they tend to not hold friendships as long as men. And it's because, catty behavior, being treacherous, like they'll betray each other. Like in your face, they'll be like, oh yeah, you're so beautiful, whatever. But then they'll like go ahead and shit on you. And girls are really catty and jealous. Like with men, it's like, for us, it's like it's frowned upon to do that shit. Because it's like being a treacherous man, like, or being a snake is like, dude, you're a bitch.
No, they're done to me. Like for me, I have multiple, relationships that have been long for over 20 years with my guy friends. But if a guy turned out to be a snake, I cut him out of my life. I'm not letting, loyalty is a two-way street. And I always tell people, be loyal and you want your loyal friends. But if you realize you have a snake and not being loyal back, you need to cut these fuckers out of your life. That's a problem,
because that'll put you in danger as a man.
These guys that'll stab you in the back, over a girl, over whatever, not going to be there if you get in a fight, whatever it is, cut the treacherous men out of your life and treacherous women. And I think that's important. Men need to learn character of what to pick. I think there's actually a lot of good women out there, but there's also a lot of bad ones. So you have to have character judgment and really be able to pay attention. That's not an easy thing to do. And I think you're the one that said, unless you sleep around. I know that's a very controversial thing too.
Yeah, people hate me for that.
But that's how you start learning which women are shady, which aren't. Your character judge. Because overall, I've actually had great experience with girls. For the most part, they've treated me great. My girlfriend's been good to me. I've never really been backstabbed that I know of, for the most part. But whenever I start seeing any bad behavior, I'd cut these girls out early and not let them get close to my life. I think men need to learn.
That's half the game.
You got to cut these girls out when you see bad behavior. But maybe if that's the only girl they're sleeping with, they keep tolerating the bad behavior. They're not comfortable being like, you got to get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, men are.
And the girl will either switch that behavior real quick or she can be gone.
Yeah, no, they're way too thirsty for getting sex, and they don't have options. So like, when you don't have options, or you're not an attractive guy, or sexual market value is low, well, then you're going to tolerate a lot of abuse. And then, what they don't get is, like, ironically enough, that actually fucks you up when you're a nice guy.
You, a lot of times when you call them out on your bullshit, you're a lot more likely to keep them. That's what's crazy.
Oh yeah.
The worst thing you could do is do everything they tell you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like people get mad. I literally tell guys, like, bro, you need to behave like and think that you're the superior in the relationship. That's how it's got to be.
Girl.
Like, women don't respect men that they feel superior to. She needs to feel too at all times. That's the only way it works.
Yeah, they want a man to lead. They want him smarter, richer. They want him better at everything. Yeah. So you have to be that man. And it's not easy, but you got to make yourself a better man. It's not just like, learning game and talking to girls is important, but you also got to work on making yourself a man worth following. And I do see the other side is, everyone's like, follow your man. These girls need to follow their man. But a lot of these guys aren't worth following. So the men need to take responsibility too. So it's like, I understand why it's hard for constantly hear about girls bitching about dating as well, because they're having the problem of the men not being worth following.
Yeah, no, there is an issue with, guys being feminized and not taking their shit seriously, not getting in the gym, not making money, not being successful. That's definitely a big part of it. I mean, there's issues on both ends. But I would say, right, the problem, right, a lot of times, because men typically adapt to the sexual marketplace. Men are the adapters and women are the adaptees, kind of. So, like, women kind of set the trend, and then dudes do whatever they need to do to get laid. So with feminism, women making their own money, etc., like, guys have kind of adapted in two ways. They either rise up and, rise to the occasion and make enough money, become successful, etc., and they're able to be attractive. Or what do most guys do? Watch porn on OnlyFans. I think that's why we have such an explosion on OnlyFans and sex work in general, is because most guys would rather opt out to take the easy way out and just say, I'm just going to porn.
Yeah.
Versus like meeting real girls, dealing with real girls, or they go the other route. There's been an explosion in the passport bro movement. Why is that? Well, because you go to these other places while your sexual market value escalates significantly because you have an American passport, you're a citizen, you can go ahead and sell the dream that you might take her back with you. So many guys go to South America, Eastern Europe.
Yeah, and these girls treat you really good in these countries.
Yeah,
for me, I like girls, American girls that I can relate to more, but I could see why these guys fall for these girls, especially if you don't have girls here. They treat you good, they're washing your clothes, there's massaging. When I meet girls in other countries, they're like trying to be
and
your
they're hotter
girlfriend.
too. So
they're
it's
hotter
like
and they're trying to sell themselves to you.
You're able to because in America, you have to bust your ass to get like a mid chick a lot of the times, right? And mid chicks even have high standards. So like in these countries, you're dating like an 8, 9, 10, right? And she's feminine and submissive, and you don't have to be a fucking multimillionaire to pull this chick. Whereas if you met this girl in the United States, you're competing against NBA players, you're competing against multi-millionaires, etc. So a lot of guys leave the United States a lot of times so that their sexual market value, I hate to say it like that, goes further.
Especially these countries, they might be middle class here, but they're rich there.